Welcome to or welcome back to this episode of Unrestricted Entry. You entered at your own risk, so welcome. I'm your host, Sasha, and at this point, you should be able to tell who I'm supposed to be. It's Wednesday Adams. I'm Wednesday Adams. My forever crush. Um, TBH, I had purple lipstick and a dream. I have been so busy with midterms recently and just like school. Um, and even though I love fall and I love autumn, I love the vibes, it's a especially hard time of year for me. Seasonal depression kind of kicks my ass. The minute it starts getting a little cold outside and the sun starts going away a little more, I like literally like lose myself. So I haven't been able to get a costume. I have no plans for Halloween. Um, I'm literally doing nothing, but like low key, I kind of love it. Like I'm kind of really happy right now in an odd sense, like I said, seasonal depression is kind of kicking my ass. But I'm kind of content, kind of being alone and not really doing much and not really talking to anybody. Like I just like I feel kind of happy. I feel happy with it. Um, I just feel like I've had so much time to focus on my own things and really catch up with school because I have been dying. Like my friend Isabella said, or um, Icky. That's her name, by the way. Like that's what she goes by. She's not like gross. She's gorgeous. Love her bad. Um, I'm an academic victim this year. Like weapon? No, I'm a victim. I'm struggling so hard. My theater classes and anthropology classes, like I mentioned in the last episode, are just like directly conflicting, so it's just been kicking my ass. For Halloween, I was originally gonna be Storm, or actually, I'm gonna stop there because if I use one of these costumes next year and everybody's doing them, I'm gonna be very pissed off. But I mean, Storm's a popular one, so it doesn't really matter. But the next one is like not as popular, so I hope I can do it next year, and I hope that I have the energy and the time to do it next year. Halloween just comes at a hard time every year, like it's around midterm season, school stressing you out. First of all, it's on a Thursday this year, ew, but school stressing you out. And then, it's getting cold, the sun's not out as much anymore. Like, you're just like you're happy because it's autumn, but like, you're also like, oh my God, like, could it have come at like a worse time? And Thanksgiving manages to come around like the best time when you're kind of busy, but you're not as busy, like, you're not as stressed. So it sucks. But yeah, for this costume, I had a purple lipstick, a black dress, and a dream, I fear. I I put the pigtails in my hair and said they're gonna have to just understand what the hell I'm doing. I'm suffering really bad right now. I couldn't even like go out and get a mask. Like I was just gonna get a mask. I haven't even like had the time or energy to go and get a mask. Also, a little update, I ordered the glasses and they got here 2 days after I ordered them, which I'm really happy about. But um they were just too small and I didn't see on the website that I could order different sizes. So I returned them in store and then I got the biggest size that are kind of the same amount of millimeters as my glasses that I'm wearing right now, just because they like fit me. The glasses suited me really well, but they were just like a few millimeters smaller than this, and it just like threw my whole face's balance. Ooh, it threw my whole face's balance off. So hopefully by next episode, by next two episodes, I'm gonna give myself, I can actually have my new glasses on because these things are falling off my face, like actually. I had so much stuff written down to talk about. Yes, I have so much stuff to talk about. Imagine I say that and this episode ends at like 30 minutes. Mm-mm-mm. Anyway, let me get a sip out of my cup first. Yep. Usually I don't drink warm coffee. I always have my coffee iced, but like it's actually freezing in my room right now, so like it's a hot coffee for today. My dad would be so happy. Okay, my first topic, what I have written down, loud chewers should die. Loud chewers should. This comes from me being in my class. It's an early class. It's at around like 9 a.m. So I get up at like 6 a.m., sometimes even 5. I get up at like 6 a.m., get ready, and then I leave my house at like 7:45 because it takes me a while to get to school on public transportation. It is 9 a.m. and this guy comes in late. He sits next to me because there's not much options left for seating and spends the whole time chewing a piece of gum until the death of the piece of gum. How do you chew something until the death of the inanimate object? It is so disgusting. It's right in my ear. It's so loud. It's 9 a.m. And I'm gonna make the noises now. So if you don't like this, you can skip to the next part. But it's like, I'm hearing saliva. I'm hearing saliva. I said, are you chewing a piece of gum or a fucking wad of Play-Doh? Why are you making so much fucking sounds? Bro, he comes in, he smells sweaty as hell, first of all. And then he's chewing like that in my ear for an entire hour and like 30 minutes at 9 in the morning. First of all, the day just started. Why do you smell? That's one. Two, the day just started. You couldn't chew a piece of gum on your way to class. You waited till you got in class to. I don't know about y'all, but me personally, I would get tired of chewing a piece of gum for an hour and fucking 30 minutes. And then to be chewing enough. Oh my God. It drives me nuts. Like it literally drives me crazy in that classroom. Like I am looking at the teacher, I'm paying attention, I'm trying to take down notes, and I hear it. I hear it, and I can't focus anymore. I've taken to bring wearing earmuffs to school. He hasn't sit next to me this morning. Thank God. He hasn't sit next to me because he wasn't there. But like, I dread going into class, and I know people are gonna be like, say something. Okay, a little fact about me, I have a pretty blunt way of speaking, which is why I don't speak often, because sometimes, even unintentionally, some of my words come off extremely blunt, and you have to really, like, people get used to it. People know me. Sometimes, if, it hurts them too much, they tell me, and I'll be like, oh, okay. But I have a pretty blunt way of speaking that not a lot of people, if it's my first freaking time speaking to you and I'm telling you something that's like upsetting me, I speak really bluntly. And I don't know how to nicely put "you're chewing too loud, stop" at 9 in the morning. If it was a later class, I'd have been like, okay, I would have done something. But it's 9 in the morning. I don't have the energy to even like be cordial with you right now. I don't want to speak to anybody. I want to go in this freaking class and I want to take my notes and I want to leave. This professor already yaps for too long, and you're chewing a piece of gum so loud. One single piece of gum. One single piece of gum. The single one. One. Uno. Hana. One piece of gum. Why does one piece of gum sound so disgusting? Why am I hearing I'm hearing the saliva collect in your mouth. Oh, and it just pisses me off because I think if there's any ick that I can say off the top of my head when people are like, what's your ick? That'll just have to be that's like top five, top three, even. Maybe even just the first one. Actually, no, the first one's hygiene. My top three icks are easily fixable. First one's hygiene. The second, I feel like hygiene and loud chewers are interchangeable because hygiene, I'm smelling you every time I'm near you. But chewing, like, actually, no, I'm gonna put hygiene first because that means that every time I'm near you, I'm smelling that you haven't showered in the last week. But with chewing, I could just avoid you during meal times, but I shouldn't have to. Like, and I've noticed that with so many guys. I feel like it's just guys specifically. When I was younger, I was told, chew quiet, stop chewing so loud. Nobody wants to hear what's going on in your mouth. Fine. But why do I feel like I have met specifically men? Why do I feel like I've met so much men who chew so freaking loud? And if you're a man listening to this podcast, check yourself and make sure you're not chewing like a freaking dinosaur in somebody's ear next time you're eating. Close your mouth. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's not a gender thing, but I realize that I have not met as much loud lady chewers as I have met loud guy chewers. That's just a fact. And I was just thinking like loud chewers like someone y'all need to kick rocks like because I feel like if here's the thing. It's not easy to hide when you're making someone uncomfortable with something you're doing. If I'm right next to you and I'm like visibly agitated and people around you are visibly agitated because it's something you notice. Even if you brush it off, it's something you notice. At that point, your quote unquote oblivious ass is making a point to do that. And one day someone's just gonna sock you in the jaw. And I fear that if this guy chews loudly in my ear next time, it might just be me socking somebody in the jaw. Not like you're chewing something hard or chewy or like, first of all, let's talk about it. There's this other guy in my class. He comes to school looking like Joe Goldberg's evil twin. I don't know this guy. I've never talked to this guy. He talks to nobody. I've barely seen his full face. He wears a hat and a mask the whole time. I don't know your life. I don't care. Good for you. Maybe he doesn't want anyone to see him. He doesn't want to speak to anybody. That's your business. I good for you. Um, but I came into class. I had apple chips from Trader Joe's. Also, side note, those taste like shit. But I'm not a big apple person, so I can't say anything. I don't know why the hell I picked those up. Um, he, I took one bite. First of all, I've been in school for like 2 to 3 hours at this point. I've been outside for so long. If I ate breakfast before I left, it's been a solid 3, 4 hours since I've had anything to eat. And usually at that point, I'm like starving. It's nearly lunchtime. I'm like so hungry. If I don't eat something, my stomach is actually going to start talking in class. And it's really embarrassing. And I don't want that to be me because I'm too pretty. One single bite of an apple chip. He's gonna turn and slowly look at me, and I'm gonna look at him in his face, and I turn my head to the side. I'm like, what? Like, I'm literally telling him in my head, like, what are you looking at? Like, and then I take another chip and I start chewing it even louder. Because here's the thing, I'm trying to be quiet. It's a quiet classroom, but class hasn't even started yet. I literally took a bite of a chip, mouth closed and everything. It's not like I did it multiple times and I'm being like irritating, like this guy in my ear with this piece of gum. Like, I'm actually chewing a hard substance. It's gonna make a noise. Why are you turning at me and looking at me like I did you some evil? Like what? It's Halloween soon. They ran out of Joe Goldberg costumes. You took the last one? Like, don't. Like, after having that guy chew in my ear for like nearly an hour and a half, 2 hours, and going into class starving, dehydrated, ready to like blow the building up. Like, if I had one more noise. I'm taking a single bite of a chip. I like a single bite of the chip, and you're turning and looking at me as if I did you some wrong, as if I killed your fam. Oh, I was ready to curse that guy up, curse that guy out, up, down, side to side, backwards. I was ready to curse his family. I was ready to curse everybody. And then I'm already pissed off. In class, when there is seats, if there's three seats, someone sits on one side, someone sits on another side, there's an empty chair. If you're one of those fuck ass bitches that go and sit in the middle chair in between two people, even though there are seats available, I'm gonna kick you in the leg. You deserve to be kicked. No seats available? Fine. You're irritating me, but fine. What can I do? What can I say? You have to sit next to somebody. You have to be in somebody's space. Bro, it's happened three times. All right? Three times. And it shouldn't even be happening one time. If there's an empty seat available somewhere else, go find it. One time, this girl, I'm sitting on one side. I always have my unassigned assigned seat. I sit in the same place every week. I go and I sit on one side. She's on the other side. Class starts. She moves to sit right next to me in the middle seat and moves her bag to the other chair. And I'm looking at her and I'm like, is this girl for real? Not only that, she smells so strongly of body odor and shea butter. Guys, guys, I had the worst thoughts known to man. Every time this happens to me, I just be, oh, the intrusive thoughts be so intrusive. I'd be ready to say some of the worst things said. Like my first thoughts be so evil that I really have to reprimand myself like, oh my God, it's not that serious. But you know when you're having a rough day and it's like the smallest things will inconvenience you? It's early in the morning. At this point, it's like nearly 12. I've been at school, I've been outside for hours. I'm hungry, I'm dehydrated. Stop pissing me off. The second time, same girl again. Someone else was in the seat on the other edge of the table. First of all, when she moved over, I'm thinking, okay, we both wear glasses. Maybe she needs to see the screen better. Maybe like, but I sit in that seat that she sits in all the time. You can see perfectly fine. Why are you breathing down my neck? Second time with that girl again. Someone else was in the other seat. There was seats available all over the classroom. She comes in the class 20, 30 minutes late, sits right in between me and the other girl. And I just turned my head and looked at her. And then I looked at the professor, and my mood for the rest of the class was so terrible. I felt so bad. I even scooted my chair over because I need space. I need space. I just feel so claustrophobic. Like, I need space. You and your bags, me and my bags. We're not in high school anymore. We do not all have to be bundled together. We don't all have to be bundled together. Even in high school, people found their own space. Move away from me. And then the third time, it was different people this time. Thank God. Because if it was that girl again, oh my God. Like, I like to think I'm pretty calm, but in reality, I am always 2 minutes away. I am one bad coffee and away from a crash out. I'm one bad coffee and an inconvenience away from a crash out on a regular day. And it's bad, but that's just my truth, and I have to live with it. But oh my God, this time it was the same day that thing happened with the Joe Goldberg wannabe. I put my bag down and go to use the bathroom before class starts. I'm in the bathroom all of 2 minutes. This girl was in the bathroom with me. She left. There's seats open. There are seats open. I come back. She put herself right between me and another girl to sit for class. And I come in the class, my bag's on the chair. The other girl was there before. My bag's on the chair, and I look at her. I just look down at her. And I look up and I look around and I see mad empty seats. I said, Oh my fucking God. And I took my bag and I walked to another seat and I enjoyed peace for the rest of the class. None of these people talk to each other in these classes, so I don't care how bitchy I seem. But like, I'm sorry. Is that like I'm already having a rough morning. Is that not a reasonable reaction of all the seats? You couldn't stand and look around for 1 second to see that half the class has empty seats? Half the class has empty seats and you still chose to sit yourself right in that seat? And I guess she felt awkward because when I left, she didn't move to the other seat. She stayed right up in that girl's all in that girl's space. Come on now. No. No. Like I cannot tell y'all. It just feels like someone is leaning over my shoulder. The classroom, the chairs are large, the tables are small. The way it's set up, it just feels like someone is literally looking over your shoulder when someone is right next to you. Put some space in between us. Like, has COVID taught y'all bitches nothing? Bro, it drives me crazy. Okay? Same thing happened in this class. Oh my God, I feel like all of that happened in 1 day, maybe 1 or 2 days. What I wrote down. Speaking of class, y'all need to read more. Books, articles, something other than TikTok comment sections. No hate, but taking 7 minutes to get through a single paragraph in popcorn reading in college is unacceptable. I don't care how controversial that makes me seem. Y'all need to learn how to read. Reading out loud is hard. Sometimes your brain works faster than your mouth. That's okay. But I'm sorry. If we're in college, if we're in high school, even middle and high school, even if we're in higher grades and you're doing popcorn reading and you're taking 7 minutes to get through one paragraph, you need to read more. Like, you need to pick up a book and read something other than TikTok comment sections because the way that this one guy in my class pissed me all the way off during popcorn reading, I know I read a lot, and I'm not trying to seem like hateful towards people who don't read a lot. Reading is sometimes just not people's things, but popcorn reading be kicking y'all's ass and bad. Like it be kicking your butts. That's it's unacceptable to not be able to read at least one sentence of an entire paragraph in college out loud. Like I'm talking, this paragraph should have been a solid 2 minute read at most. If you're having some time, like it's a history class. So sometimes some of the words you get tripped up on. Sometimes you can like you've seen them written and you haven't like heard them out. That's completely fine. But I'm talking you're stumbling over the most basic words. And sometimes I be getting so pissed off listening to them read because I read fast and it takes me, I can't read while someone is saying the words to me because I read at my own pace. And I think that I read relatively fast. So when someone is speaking to me and I'm hearing it at their pace and I'm like having to slow myself down to like read with them, it drives me crazy. It's a reason why I'm not a big like auditory learner. I like visuals. I like visuals. And if I do have both, what I usually do, I either listen to what the person says first and then reads it after, or I read it first and then listen to what the person says after. Because so I can like, get both of it in my mind and kind of cement the information. But I need to read it on its lonesome. So when we're doing popcorn reading, I literally have to wait for the person to finish reading so I can read what it says in my own head. And I'm not saying I'm queen of popcorn reading. I'm not saying that. But taking that long to read something that short, at a point, we gotta stop. We gotta do stuff for ourselves, and you need to pick up a short story. You need to read a little bit more poetry, read some articles, download Substack or something. I don't know. Just read more. Read out loud more. And I think that we as a population, and if we like, one day maybe if we have a really intellectual podcast, we can really get into the nitty and gritty of it is the term. Because I am in a literacies class right now, and there's a lot that goes into it. There's a lot of power structure that goes into communities and how they read and stuff like that. And it's all really interesting stuff. Maybe I can talk about it on another podcast. But the most I can say right now is being over the age of 18 and not even being able to read well a paragraph out loud to your class, unacceptable. And honestly, just kind of sad. You know what I mean? And I don't care like how controversial that makes me sound. It is sad, and it's sad because it has a lot of things going into it. Definitely, there's a lot that goes into it. I'm not gonna say like, I'm not doing this to put down anybody, but bitch, it's a fucking paragraph. Like, I'm not saying the guy read a whole book and I'm upset at him for like reading an entire chapter slowly. No, popcorn reading should not be kicking the ass of a college student. And I'm being serious. Okay? And then my next thing is, why the fuck are we still doing popcorn reading in college? No, because like, bro, when he was like, let's do a little popcorn reading, I was like, what the fuck? I haven't done popcorn reading since like 10th grade. Like, actually. Like, what? I was like, when he said popcorn reading, I was like, popcorn reading. I knew there was gonna be one fucker who's gonna read. Popcorn reading is like the worst. Cause but it's also so funny. You could really build a because when one person is going so slow, there used to be this kid in my high school. He's the sweetest kid ever, but he sucks so bad at popcorn reading, and every time someone would pop it over, it'd be his turn. Everybody would get so irritated. Everybody would get so irritated because it's like, damn, bro, finish. Like, we just look up at each other and just be like, he's still fucking going. Yeah. Ooh, that was nice. I need a drink after that. I need a drink after that. Give me 1 second. Yeah. Okay. And another thing I had written down was how more people should go to college, but why it's okay that you don't. I feel like I see a lot of people trying to have intellectual conversations, but they don't have a lot of intellectual thoughts. Like, go to college. Not even to become an intellectual. Go to college to build networks. Go to college just to, I almost didn't go to college. Like, I actually really didn't want to. I'm like, I want to be an actress. There's no reason for me to go to college, which is true. If you want to be like an actor or anything like that, like you genuinely don't need college. And even as someone who is a theater major, I would not recommend going to college for acting. I'm really happy that I decided to do another major and get a degree in something else before I started my theater journey in college. First of all, I hate my theater major. Like, I love it for a bunch of reasons. The community's great, great. The major has too much requirements, and I actually haven't done much acting in like the whole time I've been here for this major. So I just kind of feel like I'm just doing a whole bunch of other stuff. And while that is also fun, it just doesn't really feel applicable to me. But who knows? Maybe it'll work out in the future. There's just so much credits that have to, like 120 credits compared to 90 credits for another major. Like the theater major department has just so much credits and just so much requirements that I think are something that really shouldn't be asked of us. But that's like well, I mean, I can talk about it now. They have us in classes sometimes that require you to put aside time outside of class to actually do the work required of you. And it'd be like weeks at a time, and you'd be doing something that you really have not no interest in. And I just think that that's kind of like, while it gives us real world experience and it is something that can be very fulfilling, I think that that's something that is not a good ask of people, especially college students, because college students have jobs. And some of these jobs are serious. Like some people, like I wanted to get a good, serious job that I could have for the year. Something that, moved me out of like, retail or food service and stuff like that. And I literally couldn't have one while I was doing the production. And we have multiple classes that do this. And we're required to see productions put on by the department, and we have to pay for it. We're paying for school, and we're also paying to see a play we don't even want to go see. And while some of my friends are in the productions, like I know, and in the nicest way possible, like I'd go to see them definitely, but I'd also know that I'd also rather stay home. Like I'd go to see my friends and support my friends and be like, you did such a good job, but I also know that I'd rather be home. You know what I mean? I don't like that, like I would go willingly, but I don't like the fact that it's required of us. So we have to pay you. The theater department has like $5 to its freaking name. It's like so shabby. We're paying you for that. We're paying you for the play. Like, so where's the money going? It's just, it's a lot. I wouldn't recommend doing a theater major if you want to be an actor. I mean, like, do what you want. Like, if you definitely feel that that's the path for you, that is the path for you. But I'd also say do something else to get a degree in something now else and like broaden your perspectives, because I'm really happy with my other degree that I'm getting, and I think that it actually has done more for me in my mind than my theater major has, even though being an actress has been like my lifelong goal or whatever, my dream. Um, yeah. Yeah, like you can do theater outside of school. You can actually do the stuff you want and focus on that outside of school. I'd say in school, if you're gonna pay for something that's gonna, if not help you find amazing jobs, pay for something that's gonna teach you new things about the world, make you more worldly. That's why I think more people should go to college, make networks, make new friends. Some people want to have really intelligent conversations and they want to have a new way of thinking, but they have, like, it's hard after middle and high school to socialize with people. And that's just the way it is when you go into adulthood. You have to go to specific things to socialize with people because there's not a lot of places outside of work where you can be with a bunch of people for a set amount of time, day in, day out. And even at work, usually those conditions only last in work. You have work friends. You don't really text them outside of work. You don't really branch that relationship out a lot of the time. And that's okay. That's just how things work. But it's hard to socialize outside of middle and high school because those people are your friends in school and out of school, you know? So I think that if you want to socialize, meet more people, meet people with like-minded interest, go to college. Go to college. If you want to have those intelligent conversations and don't even know where to start, watching a bunch of YouTube videos will help you, but also you should just go to college. Especially if you can afford it, especially if financial aid will help you, if scholarships will help you. If you have the opportunity to go, just go. You can do 2 years. Um, and if you don't like it, don't go anymore. But you can at least say you did those 2 years and you met people and you've done more stuff. And then you realize, oh, I want to do 4 years. And you can go on, or you can just stop there. But I definitely think more people should go to college because, you know, I feel like especially a lot of influencers I see like they just stop after high school because they kind of got it figured out with influencing. And some people are genuinely not made for like structured higher education like college. Some people are made for it. Some people are made to just have world experience alone. Some people just, school isn't, and like, stuff like that is not for them. And that's okay. Everybody is different. Your path is always going to be different, but it's yours. Do what's best for you. Do something new. But, I think with a lot of influencers, a lot of people stop at high school, and I think that a lot of influencers would do well in college and college environments and meeting new people, learning new things, getting out of their niche, and being able to just, I feel like it would help bring so much more to their content and their lives if they went or even just did stuff. People need to get hobbies. If you don't go to college, get a hobby. Get 5 hobbies. Get as much hobbies as you can. Just do more. I think that's literally all I'm trying to say. Do more. Do more for yourself. A lot of people, I feel like, don't do much. Get a hobby, learn to paint, archery. Mm, I don't know. Find something, fuck. Um, I said, y'all need to stop yawning with your mouth so wide open. I'm gonna throw a piece of gum in there. Bro, another kid in my class with the kid who was chewing in my ear was yawning so loud behind me. Not even loud, just I could tell his mouth was wide open because I'm getting gust of hot air and it smells. So why don't you take the gum instead of Chewy McFrickin' Chewerson over there? I was like, what the hell is behind me? Keep out! Keep out! Yeah, my Halloween decoration. Um, yeah, I can't stand that. Don't yawn if you got smelly breath. Yawn and cover your mouth if you have smelly breath. Nobody's immune to smelly breath. You know what people are immune to, though? Aren't immune to? I don't know where the fuck I was going with that. Okay, since I've kind of said, oh, yeah, no. Since I've kind of said everything that I wanted to say for this episode, let's get into some of my favorite things of this week, media and other stuff. So, as for some media, music, Blockbuster by Enhypen and Yeonjun, New Woman by Lisa and Rosalia, Apatse by Rose and Bruno Mars. And I started listening, oh, Chroma, no, hold on. What else? What else? Oh, this album that a YouTuber that I like shared. It's Pinback by Pinback. Very good. Like I actually really liked it. I don't know what my favorite song was, probably Chaos Engine, but it was really enjoyable. Not like surprising. Like it just, kind of gave Mazzy Star, but not. That's a bit of my media. Some other media that I have that you've probably been seeing in the corner this whole time. This book that I read recently by Louisa May Alcott called The Inheritance. Really good. I gave it like 3 stars. It's definitely no Little Woman, but I think it was cute. The main character is very likable. Kind of her and Tori Vega sit at the same table and just being like really normal, kind people who are surrounded by crazies. Um, and I'm currently reading Perfume by Patrick Suskind? I don't know how to say it. But yeah, this one is has been like popping online recently. So I read a page of it when I was in Barnes and Nobles the other day and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go borrow it from the library. Go to your local libraries, borrow from the library. The amount of money, like I've borrowed so many books this year, but it calculates how much money you save when you borrow from the library as opposed to buying an actual book. I've saved probably like $300 to $400. And recently I've just been getting my books secondhand because the book prices are too much. Um, Paying $18 for Kitchen by Banana Yoshimoto and paying $18 for The Idiot by Elif Batuman. Banana Yoshimoto's book is like this skinny and Elif's book is like this big. And they're both in the $18 price range. That doesn't make sense. And I think the prices of books have just become so ridiculous. And inflation is crazy. I don't know if books were like expensive when I was younger because my mom was paying for them, you know what I mean? And I loved books, but I just feel like $18 for this and $18 for this just makes absolutely no sense. And with so many publishing houses, it's not to say one publishing house publishes one book. Like, no. So many publishing houses publish the same books with different colors and different fonts. So why are they all the same price? Maybe I should like look something up on that. Like, I'm actually really interested to know why the hell books are so fucking expensive. Because I feel like a book should be $9. Honestly. And there's a a used bookstore that I go to. It's used books, but they're they're like a few dollars off from the actual price of like the actual price of a new book. So I'm like, why don't I just get a new book instead of getting a used book for nearly the same price? What? Virginia Woolf book was like $13 and I went to the bookstore and it was 7. Like, y'all can suck nuts. But yeah, go to your local libraries. Don't let libraries die. Libraries are an amazing thing. I got a library card maybe a few years ago. I never had one. But I used to, I like nothing kind of beats having a um new fresh book. I love the smell of a new fresh book. But support your local libraries. Local libraries are the best. I love a good library. Another one of my favorite things is this. She's a skull panda. My dad got her for me a little while ago, like maybe a few days ago. I think she's called the Voyager. She's extremely cute. Let me show you her. Uh, uh, uh. There you go. She's extremely cute. I was like, Dad, which one do you think I'll get? And he points it to her, and then she's who I got. And I was like, oh, that doesn't happen a lot. And I love her. I think they're so cute. They're like my favorite. I have so many like Smiskies and I have Sony Angels. I got a lot of Sony Angels because they were cheap in Korea, but now that I'm thinking about it, I actually don't really like them. I really like these. I really like this. I love the design of this. This is how I want the characters that I draw to look like. Like, I love the design of these, and I plan on getting so much because I love them. But that's another one of my favorite things. Another one of my favorite things has been this mug. I don't have a lot of mugs. It says Witch's Brew. My dad got it for me. And the handle's on the left, which is really kind of odd be- because like the world is kind of made for right-handed people, but I think it's on the left because people used to accuse left-handed people of witchcraft. So, pretty cool. Um, it's actually kind of nice to drink something with my left hand because now that I realize it, I don't do a lot with my left hand. You know, because like most of the population, I'm right-handed. So it's kind of nice to actually be able to do something with my left hand because the it's so unequal the amount of use each hand has for me because I use my right hand obviously all the time to scroll and stuff. So it's really nice to be able to use my left hand and you know just kind of do something with it and let it get its own sort of dominance. But I want to be ambidextrous so bad. I'm actually pretty okay at writing with my left hand for someone who doesn't do it much at all. Um, but yeah, that was just like a random thought. And my last thought, do I have any more like media or anything? No, no favorites. My last thought that I had earlier is men are pissing me off. Men have been pissing me off all day today. My outfit wasn't like risque at any means. I was actually showing not any skin. Literally only like my face and my hands. I was wearing shorts with tights and knee-high socks and boots and a cardigan with a shirt and a fleece jacket. Like, and men were just, people kept, like, I know I'm gorgeous, I'm Gorgina. People kept staring at me. Some guy with a pizza box in his hand was like, oh, sexy, sexy. And I'm walking by and I just looked at him. And, like, that irritates me because if I were to go up to him and be like, how old? Like, he looked 50 at least. At least. Maybe at least 43. If I were to go up to him and be like, how old do you think I am? He's probably gonna say old enough. What's old enough to you creeps? You see me coming from school. What's old enough to you creeps? There's no old enough to you creeps. Y'all don't have a set number because you're weirdos and you deserve to rot. And then some random person with no profile picture, no name on my TikTok. I posted TikTok of me literally just putting on lotion and doing my lip liner. And they go, "You single?" They save the video, they comment twice, they repost the video talking about some "you single?" Now I have to ignore you. Now I just have to ignore you because I fear for my life. Like, was the one comment, was two comments not enough? I hate when guys do that. It's a specific thing they do. Like, you couldn't DM me. You couldn't DM me on TikTok. You couldn't DM me on Instagram. You couldn't do any of the normal stuff. You commented on the TikTok, reposted the video, saved the all kind of stuff. What? You couldn't come to me directly and say anything. You did all that? For what? What are you hoping to achieve? Now you've just freaked me out. And it happened once. Some guy found me on another app, came to my Instagram, DM'd me. First of all, he didn't even like acknowledge me on the other app. He found me, DM'd me, and he's gonna comment on one of my posts. I just DM'd you, check DM. Hey, I found you. I just like, and I just blocked him because that's creepy. Do stuff normally. Why do you have to make this huge shout for attention? You attention whore. You're a fiend. Like, do stuff normally. Now this, the hoes are scared. You've scared the hoes. Like, so this is just a PSA for anybody who does any shit like that. Please don't. Please. It's freaky. It's freaky. Not in the good way. It's not. No. Anyway, let me get back into Wednesday. Thank you so much for watching my video. What? Thank you so much for listening to the podcast. See you next week. Bye.